Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another speed build video. Today I am building a Italian holiday home which can be used for either like a young couple or maybe Sims that have been married for a while. This building does only have one bedroom, so not very suitable for children. However, there is actually lots of room in the build, so you can probably convert it a little bit and put in an extra bedroom somewhere. So basically I've decided to build this because I have holiday blues. In England at the moment it has been raining pretty much every day this week and it's just really miserable. I think we have like a couple of like a day probably of sun and then the next thing we know it is raining again. And it's the beginning of August. This isn't how it should be at all. We should be getting a lot of sun and hardly any rain. Well, you'd think that would be the case in August, but it's not, unfortunately, in England. We do end up having the thing which I think has happened like quite a lot recently. Like every single year we seem to have like a week of really nice weather, which normally comes in June, I would say, and then the rest of our summer is pretty much just rain non-stop. So yeah, I thought I'd cheer myself up and build myself a little holiday home that I can pretend to be in the sun with. And it's got an amazing sea view as well. This is what I really like Windenburg. It's a mixture of everything. You've got the little island bit, which is a nice beach area, and then there is the the more of the city bit, which is a bit more European, I suppose. But yeah, also I've built this just because I love Italy. I've been once. I went to Sorrento last year, and I absolutely fell in love with the place. But also, as I may have mentioned in a previous video, I went to Sardinia last, I think at mid-June time. So yeah, I'm kind of just missing it. I think that's the one thing about going on holiday fairly early on in the year. It does get to August and you're like, right, I need to go away again. But unfortunately, I don't think work will actually let me have any more time off so soon. But yeah, I've always had a dream of going off to Tuscany, renting out like a convertible, driving it through the countryside, and just probably having the best time of my life. What I love about Italy is all the food you can have. I don't think there is anything wrong with eating pizza non-stop. That's kind of what we did in Sardinia. We like the food over there, it's like it's okay, but there isn't actually much in terms of variety, I would say, when it comes to the food that they have. It is so mostly what we ate was either like seafood dishes, but like I've recently discovered that my boyfriend has a bit of a shellfish allergy, and whenever he eats like mussels or anything like that, he will just be violently sick, which is not what you want when you go on holiday. But anyway, that just meant that in Sardinia, it was nearly turned my computer off then. Oops. It meant in Sardinia that our only option was to either have a seafood dish, which they mostly come with like mussels and prawns and little what are they called? Ones in little shells anyway. Yeah, mostly came with that, or it was pizza. So we actually found that we were eating pizza pretty much every other day, just simply because we there wasn't really much else to eat, and also like some of the menu, if they were to go out and catch fresh fish, oh, that's quite hard to say, fresh fish, anyway, if you were to buy something, a meal which had fresh fish, it meant that they hiked the price up, and it would have been like 30, 40 odd euros. And you know, when you're in a young couple and you don't have parents with you going on holiday anymore, it's actually fairly, like, money doesn't stretch that far, unfortunately. But anyway, it was a nice time, and I kind of just feel like I need to go again. Pretty much all said and done, I need another holiday. But anyway, that's kind of why I have built this little Italian villa, because this is me secretly wishing to be back, and building it in The Sims mean that I can use it with my little Sims and have a little holiday with them and live through them, perhaps. Anyway, so this build I'm calling Villa Italiana, which it's a very straightforward translation. I don't know if anyone actually knows what it means, but it means Italian villa. That is something that I want to do, actually. I really want to learn Italian, and next month, beginning of September, I'm going to go to a Italian speaking course and hopefully learn the basics. I know the basics of German, Spanish, and a tiny bit of French, and I kind of feel like Italian, seeing that I've basically fallen in love with the place. I want to learn the language so that next time I go, which hopefully will be next year, I don't have to act like an idiot and only speak English to them. That's one of the things I hate, to be honest, is not knowing the language. And you can kind of just tell when you're talking to people that they kind of want you to try. They want you to try and speak their language. So that is my aim for September, is to learn the basics of Italian. Now we'll go into the build. So this altogether is a whopping 148,126 simoleons. So this build is on the gallery. My ID, if you want to find it, is Sophie A14. Kind of had my origin ID from a while back before I created this channel, so I didn't really know how to like transfer games over or anything, so I've stuck with the Sophie A14. In terms of what else is to come with this channel, my aim is to try and upload once a week on the weekend. I've been very busy lately, so I accidentally missed last weekend. But the idea is that I'm going to try and have new content every weekend for people to watch, and hopefully the channel will grow a bit more. I'm fairly pleased with how it's doing so far. One thing that I am going to try and work on is making some homes which are more suitable for starter sims. So I'm going to try and do some what they call some builds which are going to have like a limit on them. 20k perhaps will be the first one, and then maybe we can just like lower it down and hopefully we can try and build some beautiful houses that they're actually going to be affordable. I'm the sort of player who will not use money cheats. I like my Sims to earn their money, and then they can afford nice places. But this only uses 6 packs with this build. So I have used City Living, Spa Day, Get Together, Fitness, and Dine Out, and oh no, I've counted that completely wrong. So that's City Living, Spa Day, Get Together, Fitness, Dine Out, Vintage Glamour, Parenthood, and Vampire. So that's actually, I've used 8 packs for this one. I thought it was less. But I think it's just one of those things that when you're trying to furnish the place, you kind of end up adding all the expensive paintings from City Living. And also the City Living pack is just beautiful. They have some really nice items. So this took me 5 hours and 15 minutes to build altogether. I am going to try and I'm hoping with the smaller houses that I'm going to do, that actually it's not going to take me as long anymore. I do spend a lot of my time probably deliberating on what items that I should use, and I just don't think it's necessary, to be honest. It's a complete waste of my time. I do end up spending a lot of time just sitting there scrolling through and finding little bits to put in. So that is one of my tasks, and that's to just try and speed myself up a little bit. So this only has one bedroom. It has 2 bathrooms though, because you can have a bathroom each if you've just got a couple living here. And again, it's just another massive build, and the problem that I have is just trying to furnish the places. I do feel like this actually came out a little bit bare again, and even though I have the thing of I find it really hard to build something when I don't actually have a sim in mind. So yeah, maybe I just need to descale my properties a little bit, because I want them to look really good. I want them to look like you've got an interior designer has completely renovated the building and it just all looks amazing. But yeah, that's one of the things that I would actually change, is that I've not really, I don't feel like I've furnished it very well. However, I am still trying to play with colour. As you can see in the little living area, I have tried to add a bit of colour by using those different coloured little armchairs. I feel like it kind of adds a lot to it. I love the sort of blush pink colour scheme that we have here, and then over in the little study area we have another little, I can't remember what colour I go with. Might be mostly blue. Not sure if I actually colour that wall a different colour at all. I suppose we'll see. But yeah, in a bit I add a little chair in there as well, which I colour in blue. Also I stole those little lights on the floor idea from Deli Grissi. I kind of feel like with a modern home it actually really makes it stand out a little bit. And yeah, I feel like it really modernizes an area. So this is kind of this building. The way it's built is that I tried to keep it fairly rustic on the outside. So the bit where the dining room is, it's fairly dark when the lights are turned off due to the small windows. But most properties in Europe are sometimes renovated from barns, and that kind of means there are either no windows or very small windows, because you'd obviously just keep cattle in them, and it just means the what's it called, the dining room area / kitchen is very dark. So what I'd like to think with this build is that you have a barn, let's say, that has been converted into a house, and obviously that has then had extensions built along the side, and so probably the space isn't as practical as what I would have liked, but I think as a little holiday home it's not too bad. There's one thing I love. I've been wanting to add this to a build for a while. I love the archways that we have here. It's kind of like a little indoor walkway. I can just see myself sitting under there with the little ivy plant things growing on top. I kind of feel like it's very relaxing and calming, I suppose. You may have noticed that I actually added the pool in first. I kind of wanted to create like an infinity pool type thing, but that didn't really go to plan. So there may be a build one day where I try and do it like an infinity pool. Yeah, there are a few things that I would like to change about this building. I suppose I kind of needed to like use the space, I suppose, a little bit better, and maybe I really feel like I should have added like some more bedrooms in. I don't know, there's something about just like one bedroom houses. I just feel like they're just completely not very usable for like a wide range of people. A lot of people, I suppose, do quite like using them for families, whereas this, it's only ideal for just one person or a couple. And also, like I said before, I kind of wish that I had used more furniture. We're kind of seeing now with the bedroom that it's actually like fairly bare. Um, but I suppose you can't really. It's quite a small room. You can't really fit much in. One of the things that I love about building is like symmetry in rooms, and the way that window is positioned, it is just not agreeing with me. The window above the bed is aligned slightly, well, it is aligned to the left because you have it's where the chimney is, so that gets in the way, but that is something that just really aggravates me. So yeah, we just kind of there's not really much we can add with that bedroom. I kind of realised that we don't have a wardrobe or anything, but not a problem, I suppose. I suppose you use the mirror to get into the Creator Sim area, so the wardrobe's not an essential. So we're just decorating the bathroom now. I like the idea of having like a bathtub standing alone in the middle of the room. It does take up like a fair bit of space, but I think aesthetically it's quite pleasing. I have realised that I did miss out the toilet in here, because at the end of the day, like, guys, who actually needs the toilet? Nobody needs the toilet. That's a joke. I was trying that thing where you can like place loads of items and it will stop your items from snapping onto a grid, but that didn't really work for me, so we kind of scrapped that. Yes, I do end up adding the toilet when I realise later on. I realised when I was doing the screenshots for this build that it was missing, so I think I just put it next to the door. Yeah, I moved those little dressing gowns back to where they were, and then put the toilet next to the door. So yeah, I quite like the little courtyardy areas in this build, and the little balconies. I do like the feeling of stepping out onto a balcony and just like sitting down and reading a book. I just find it really relaxing. So the hallway, again, I don't know why, but I just find it the hardest to decorate hallways. I always feel like it's the biggest waste of space. But the thing is with this build is that I couldn't find a way to place the stairs in here. So we end up having the stairs, because of the downstairs area, the stairs end up coming straight into the middle of the space, and it just completely wastes it all. I then end up finding that, I just end up decorating rooms with paintings and plants, and whereas that is nice, I do kind of feel like so much more could be done with a room like that. I always end up forgetting about like skilled items as well. Oh, and talking about the weather, I don't know if anyone can hear that, but it's now chucking it down again. I do have some plans to try and go out today, but I don't really want to if it's just going to be raining all the time. This is what we have to deal with. So yeah, we're coming towards the end of the build now. We just go down into the sort of gym area, and at this point I had just downloaded the fitness pack, and I really wanted to use the rock climbing wall, so I have to sneakily add that in, and kind of thought if a young couple are going to use this place, then a gym would probably be something that they would probably use in here. However, I'm very disappointed with the way that I've done it. I've kind of just added items randomly around the place and not really thought about it too much. So if I was to redo this again, I think I would definitely have to change that. Yeah, I'm fairly disappointed with it. It is a fairly classic and basic build, but I'm fairly pleased with how it's turned out. I think it's just what I need to let my Sims relax for the rest of August and the summer months. So that is everything. So yeah, we've just got the screenshots at the moment. Please check out my other videos that I have uploaded to the channel. Subscribe, like them if you do, and give me a little comment with perhaps what you want to see and anything else that you would like me to do. Also, just tell me if you really hate it as well. I've had a lot of nice comments, so it would be nice to have perhaps comments with a bit more constructive criticism, just so I can help myself and improve on my builds. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.